Okay, I've done Mario Galaxy 1, now it's time to take a look at some bad reviews for Super Mario Galaxy 2. We are wasting no time today as we are going to jump straight in with Rhapsody's review. This game is basically a waste of money in my opinion. I am truly saying this because I believe it is one of the most overrated games out there. I love how people always complain when games are copied and pasted, but except when Mario does it, it suddenly gets a free pass. I have played many Mario games and the majority of the maps I memorize from other games, and somehow no one notices it. And it makes me feel like the majority of Mario games are completely forgotten. The game is way too easy, and I can say that many people want to play a game just for fun, and I can agree with that, but I do not prefer it in any way. I hate this game on so many levels, and when Super Mario Galaxy 3 comes out, I'm not spending a penny's worth. 2 out of 10. This reviewer is not necessarily wrong about the copy and paste thing within the Mario series. The new Super Mario Bros. Games are pretty famous for this, but it rarely happens within 3D Mario games. Galaxy 2 is more of an exception, and even then, the ideas it borrows from Galaxy 1 are expanded upon, and there are plenty of fresh new ideas in here too. Savage Joe 444 wants to share their thoughts on Mario Galaxy 2. I called the last one original, this one sigh. I don't know if they intended this game to be exactly the same as the first, then they got it right, but they completely screwed this one up. The plot is the same as the last one, the combat is the same as well, and now repetitive, and everything in this game is easy. I finished the game in under 5 hours easily without any help whatsoever. The game was all copy and paste. Mario is now a dead franchise, and it should stay dead after this disaster. 2 out of 10. Next up is LinkFam with their 1 out of 10 review, and here is what they said. Thanks Nintendo for replacing the amazing Comet Observatory with a boring and small Mario head. Literally. Thank you for practically removing Rosalina throughout the whole game. Thank you for making a 3D Mario that wasn't a sandbox, so if you're stuck or don't like the galaxies, guess what? You have to put up with it. Thank you for adding Yoshi and only putting him in 5 levels. Thank you for making a game that has too many ideas to be a DLC, but not enough to be a game. Thank you for ruining Mario Galaxy. To be honest, there are some valid points in that review, but there's a lot of over-exaggerating, and awarding this game a 1 out of 10 score is insane. The opening point about Mario's head made me laugh though. I actually quite like Mario's face starship, but the Comet Observatory is definitely better. Can't argue with you there. Super Ream has written a review for us to read. Curse you SMG2. That I simply don't even this game, maybe because the first one wasn't that bad, but the second is stupid. Why is this game so popular? 2 out of 10. Unfortunately, we don't actually know the reasons why Super Ream thinks this game is stupid, so that's pretty disappointing. Can94 wrote, the first Super Mario Galaxy was better. 0 out of 10. Now, a lot of people will agree with this take, but that doesn't mean that Super Mario Galaxy 2 should be awarded a score of 0. Both Galaxy games are 10 out of 10s in my eyes. Snivy Somnia has played Galaxy 2, and this is what they said. Super Mario Galaxy Expansion Pack is a copy-paste sequel of the original, aside from a few new powers and Yoshi, which was around for less than a quarter of the game. There's really nothing this game adds to the formula. Most of the levels are slightly upgraded from the originals or the exact same. Only a few songs in the game are original, and the difficulty was non-existent. This was thanks to the game holding your hand the entire way through. I hate to see Mario's image for innovation dragged through the dirt, but Miyamoto apparently doesn't care. Instead, sequel that expands on the original like Super Mario Sunshine. We're given a slightly touched up version that fails to convey the sense that you're in space like the original, to provide a fair difficulty level, or any difficulty for that matter, and to provide any originality. 0 out of 10. Samd KKKKKKKKK has written a 2 out of 10 review for Super Mario Galaxy 2. Galaxy, but they turned into new Mario Bros and removed all the charm. A painfully underwhelming game, and yes, even though he's on the cover art, Yoshi is barely playable in most levels. This has come up a couple of times now, how Yoshi is not in many of the game's levels. In my opinion, I'm actually happy with the amount of times Yoshi makes an appearance in Galaxy 2. I don't know the exact number of times Yoshi appears, but you first find him in the second galaxy of the game, and then he appears in every couple of galaxies after that, so it's pretty often you come by him. Whenever I found him, I was like, oh nice, it's Yoshi, and I never found myself wishing he was in more levels. I think Nintendo found the perfect balance for how often he appears in this game. Okay, we are now going to dive into J. Lewis's house review. This is a very long one, but I think I've saved the best till last, as trust me, this has got to be our funniest review yet. Worst 3D Mario game by far. I love all the 3D Mario games except for this one, and here's why. Too many bosses. No one plays Mario games for the bosses, and this game has more bosses than any other. They all kind of play like Mario 64 bosses, King Bobomp and Thwomp, where you have to figure out a trick to kill them. Mario is about platforming, with maybe a boss or water level thrown in every now and then to mix it up. This game feels like 25% bosses. Boring. Stupid mini-games. There are a lot of mini-games where there are a set number of enemies and you have to kill before the time runs out. Or you have to destroy a bunch of boxes with fireballs before the time runs out. Or I skate around a small square and run into enemies. These stars are just 100% boring filler. Less fun than a Mario Party minigame, to be honest. With these stars, plus the boss stars, the game drags. Gimmicky power-ups. Just going to pause here for a second to comment on some of the things said so far in this review. Firstly, with the game's bosses, boss battles are almost in every Mario game. They may not be the most complex bosses, but they give you a break from the platforming and they can be pretty fun to fight. Galaxy 2 I think are some of the best bosses in the Mario series, and they definitely aren't boring. Also, calling the minigame stupid feels like a pretty low blow. Again, these are a nice break from the main action and they are all pretty fun. Let's continue with the review. Mario-y and feels tactile. Too much time wasted in animations. It takes 1 to 2 minutes after getting a star to get back into a level. There's the animation of getting the star, going back to the ship, showing your star stats, walking to the switch to activate the ship, going back to the map and moving your ship across it, selecting the star, then Mario being shot onto the world to start the next level. It gets boring when I'm spending half my time watching this stuff. Then when I get to a star and find out it's some dumb minigame or gimmick, I'm so frustrated. I'm watching a speedrun of this game for a charity event recently, AGDQ, and there was more downtime for the announcer to read donation messages than any other game I've seen. And it was a speedrun. Usually speedruns have constant information and gameplay, but there was so much downtime. Also, there will often be 2 or 3 times in a level where you waste 10-15 seconds talking to a little star guy. Watch him turn into a star shooting portal thing, then jump and shake your remote. Then watch Mario shoot all the way to another planet. Imagine if you were playing Mario for the NES and a third of the way through every level, the game just paused for 12 seconds to make a star portal. It would drive you insane. That whole rant about Galaxy 2 being a bad speedrunning game was comedy gold right there. Like, it isn't even relevant and it shouldn't determine the review score for this game, as most people who play Galaxy 2 aren't going to speedrun it. It isn't even a bad game to speedrun anyway. Yes, it's lengthy, but it's still quite a popular game in the speedrunning community. There's definitely way worse worst games out there to speedrun. Anyway, let's get back on track and finish off this ridiculously long review. Too easy. Usually your reward for finally getting into a level is that you easily trot through it and get the star. Nobody likes when a Mario game is too easy. I remember people complained about Super Mario Bros. Wii for that. I think it was that one. We play games to challenge our minds. So when a game is too easy, it just feels like a waste of time. No other 3D Mario game has this problem. 2D levels use up more space in this 3D Mario game. Let me be clear, I like the 2D levels, they're good, but in a game with precious little 3D Mario platforming that isn't gimmicky, the 2D levels just kind of use up space that could be used on 3D Mario levels. In the end, this game feels like it was made by the Mario Party team, and it's just a bunch of gimmicky levels that play like mini-games. Between all the power-ups, bosses, Yoshis, 2D levels, mini-games, and other gimmicks, you rarely get to have some normal 3D Mario gameplay. I just want to run around as Mario and try to beat a level from start to finish, without being turned into some non-Mario object, or playing a stupid mini-game, or playing some other 2D Mario game, or fighting King Bobomp 9.0. 2 out of 10. My god, what a journey that review was to go on. I think that might have been one of the longest reviews we have had for the Bad Reviews series so far. And if you want to check out another video in that series, then why not head on over to my Bad Reviews video for the original Super Mario Galaxy.